Today we're playing Neon Boost, and alongside it I have a story, a cautionary tale, perhaps, and some advice. So, what is Neon Boost? Neon Boost is basically a rocket jump platformer game, right? So, you can speedrun this game. Um, you can like do that. I think. Well, I thought there was sliding in the game as a mechanic, but I don't know what button it's on. Um, let's check the settings. But basically, the story. Okay, there's no control settings, so we'll just assume that I know what I'm doing. Basically, the story with this game is that it's a rocket jump platformer thing. It's free on Steam. It's pretty fun, IMO. And I played this game on main channel a while ago, like a good while ago. And what did I do? Well, I hold control slash. Okay, so it's C. Control isn't doing it, I don't think. Um, and I did a speedrun of this game. It was actually just a first playthrough of the game that I disguised as a speedrun, you know, sneaky little trick. And it was a couple hours long because even though this game isn't particularly hard, I did struggle on the last world a little bit, so it ended up being a decently long playthrough. And also, like, I wasn't, I was trying to beat it as fast as possible, but I wasn't as good with the mechanics because naturally I hadn't played it before. And so I submitted this run to speedrun.com, and my surprise when the moderators for Neon Boost, they say, no, you can't submit this. It's not a real speedrun. It's too slow to be a speedrun. And if you ever look at like popular leaderboards, like Mario Sunshine, you'll often see that the bottom of the leaderboard is full of runs that are maybe very slow, that maybe you wouldn't, at first glance consider to be a speedrun. Somebody, I think on Mario Sunshine the bottom time's like 60 hours or something. Like, by all means, not a particularly practiced speedrun, that one. In fact, slower than many casual playthroughs, right? Slower than the average casual playthrough. I don't think most people are spending 6 hours. Well, maybe 6 hours. I don't think most people are spending 60 hours playing Mario Sunshine to beat it the first time around, right? And I don't know. I think it's not a good way to be, because like it is a speedrun by all means. I did complete the game as fast as my abilities allowed me, and I think it should count, and I would have accepted it, right? I would have accepted it to any leaderboard, and I have never rejected a run from any leaderboard, of which I've accepted many runs. I've never rejected a run for being too slow, and I have accepted really slow playthroughs. Stranded Isle, there's like 30-minute run from Evan Angelos. There's like, I think, also a 30-minute run from Czar, and like, these are slower than casual playthroughs. These are bad runs, but I think you should accept them, right? Because I mean, there are a lot of reasons that I think you should accept these, but like paramount is just that, like, it's not easy to get into speedrunning. Like, a lot of people struggle with posting their times because they're not the best, and they're intimidated by the players who are better than them, right? And you're only going to make that worse by saying, oh no, this is so bad that it doesn't even count as a speedrun, right? Like that is going to hurt someone's like likelihood to come back to the game. And so that, like, That's my perspective on it, is like, you should definitely accept these runs, even if they're not very fast, because these people might become speedrunners of the game in the future, right? And by not accepting those runs, maybe, I can't say for sure, but maybe you're preventing them from wanting to play the game in the future. I don't know about that for sure. I can't speak for every case, but I'm sure it's happened where someone's like rejected a run because it was slow, and then the person was like, "Oh, I don't really feel like contributing to this leaderboard," and that was kind of my perspective on this game, right? It had nothing to do with me being intimidated by the community or anything like that. I'm not bothered by that kind of thing, but equally, sorry, I need to focus. We're playing Minecraft Dropper right now. Equally, I thought it was kind of off-putting that they rejected my run for being too slow. Something which, to this day, has not happened to me again. Like, that's the only time that's happened to me. And I've submitted for a lot of random games, and I've submitted a lot of first playthroughs. Or just like casual playthroughs. I'll talk about the Shadow the Hedgehog run in a second, because it's kind of a funny story. So, what was it? Yeah, I think you should accept those runs. And then the next thing is accepting runs to categories that I guess are more permissive than other categories. So we have this situation. There's this game called Tealerland. I'll play it on the channel definitely, but you don't really need to know what Tealerland is. Basically, there's a category where you're allowed to use power-ups and a category where you're not allowed to use power-ups. And it just so happened that somebody beat the category where you're not allowed to use power-ups faster than the category where you're allowed to use power-ups. And so, okay, they submitted that run to both leaderboards. They submitted that run to the no power-ups and the power-ups leaderboard. And I accepted it because, you know, the you're allowed to use power-ups, you know, category does not specify that you must use power-ups, and power-ups only make the game faster. Being allowed to use power-ups is the more permissive category. So of course, I'm letting the no power-ups run into the power-ups leaderboard. And then you get the forums and the little kids, because Tealerland is a FNAF fan game, right? So you get the little kids coming in and they're like, this run doesn't use power-ups. It shouldn't be allowed on the power-ups board. And I'm like, actually, it's allowed because, you know, even though you're allowed to use them, you don't have to. And it would only have been faster to use the power-ups than to not use the power-ups. So it's actually fine. And they're like, no. You're only doing this because your friend did the run. My friend? None of my friends have run this game. I am a complete loner in the Tealerland community because everybody else plays all of these Five Nights at Freddy's fan games, and I just found the game randomly playing Melon Keeper Plus, and I decided to make a leaderboard for it because it's actually the only FNAF fan game I've played other than FNAF B. But like, it's what? Wow, that was loud. It's one of the only FNAF fan games I've played where it can actually be speedrun properly. So I actually, no, my friend didn't set the record. Nobody I know has ever played this game because I'm not part of the FNAF community at all. There's such a ridiculous accusation. Anyway, Shadow the Hedgehog, right? That game's pretty fun. And okay, well, let's specify. Shadow the Hedgehog is fun if you do the neutral route. If you do Hero or Dark, then it's completely like ass. And so I said, circa, I guess, 2020, maybe 2021. I don't remember when this happened specifically. But basically when Steve was announced for Smash. So I said to my friends in a Discord server, oh, if Steve gets announced for Smash, I'll do a Shadow the Hedgehog speedrun. And I'd said this about a lot of characters before, like, oh, if Gino gets into Smash, I'll speedrun Super Mario RPG. That never happened, unfortunately, because I would love to have Gino in Smash, but whatever. And as we know, Steve did get announced. Steve did get announced for Smash. And so immediately after that, I booted up my stream, Shadow the Hedgehog PS2 version, and I played through the game casually, and you know what? They accepted my run because the Shadow the Hedgehog moderators know how to foster a loving, encouraging community of speedrunners. But honestly, that run was really fun because Shadow the Hedgehog is actually a good game. You don't know this because you just listen to what all the fucking video game reviewers on YouTube say. But if you actually play the game, it turns out it's pretty fun. It turns out Shadow the Hedgehog, actually a pretty fun game. And so what we're going to do is we're going to finish this game today, and we're going to submit this as a speedrun to the leaderboard and see if we get rejected again. Because I don't know, maybe the speedrun mods were just in a bad mood. Maybe the game has changed hands since then, like the leaderboard has changed hands. You know, I have no idea, but I'm hoping that we can get this run up accepted. And you know what? If you're watching this, if this run gets accepted, I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you for your past mistakes of rejecting my previous run. Yeah, I don't think that's fast enough. It's actually really irritating. You have to beat the levels at a certain speed to... Youch! Why is that so loud? You have to beat them at a certain speed to beat the... Also, the time doesn't start until you go like a certain amount down. So presumably by getting a big launch at the start, I'm just like shaving seconds off of my time. Which is kind of interesting. I've played other games that have level timers kind of similar to that, and I always think they're kind of stupid, but... Yeah, this is just disorienting at this point. But yeah, I mean, this game's fine. The movement isn't great, but like, as a game that's free on Steam, it's perfectly acceptable. The whole point of the game is like emulating rocket jump mechanics, but then they also add like wall running and shit that isn't as fun. And it's okay at doing that. Rocket jumping in TF2 will forever be more fun than in this game, and you know, that's fine. God, it was a long time ago that I speedrun this game. That was probably 2020, if I had to guess, 2020. And that was the year where I was like starting to get into speedrunning, which meant that I didn't really have clear ideas about, you know, anything. And what that means is like I was just running any game that had a timer in it a lot of the time. It's like Plankton. Look at that guy. We're in like Planktonville. Population Plankton. What was I saying? Yeah, I was just running like any... I think the first game, if you were to go on my channel, the first game that I properly speedrun was the Brawl Minus target test stages. Because on the Brawl Minus forums we had a little leaderboard going. And then eventually they got added to speedrun.com. But for a while it was just on the forums, and we were only keeping track of like the fastest times, which meant it was not a very exhaustive record of anything. And oftentimes, because, you know, at this point it was pretty unoptimized, people were using faster strats and getting slower times. So you'd go to the leaderboard, see the fastest time, and emulate that strat, even though it was just an execution difference and the other people were using faster strats. That was particularly common, I think, with the Captain Falcon IL, which was one of the ones that got pushed the lowest quite early on, because Captain Falcon's the coolest character in Minus by a lot. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I don't know. That might not be true. It's not Marth, I'll tell you that. It's not Marth. People think Marth is so cool. It's just because he's easy, so you can do the cool combos with him. He's so boring. Anyway. And then, like, getting over it. Okay, I probably talked about this in the getting over video, but basically, to get the, like, 100% completion, you need to, What do you need to do? You need to beat the game 50 times. And so in the process of getting that achievement for beating the game 50 times, you generally get pretty good at beating the game in a short amount of time. And I remember my best time being around 5.5 minutes, which isn't super fast by getting over its standards. I know the game's only like, I think world record's under a minute, but if it's not under a minute, it's close. And, you know, that's fine. I only recorded like a 6-minute time, so if you go on my speedrun.com profile today, you'll see that it's 6 minutes. But I did get faster times that were not recorded. At this point, I was using like a I didn't know about OBS, so I was using like a cracked version of Bandicam, so that the watermark wasn't there, and it was shit. Don't do that. Just download OBS if you want to record. It's so much better. Okay, this is the last level of this world, and it's kind of hard. It's just an auto-scroller, but it's an auto-scroller where it's pretty fast, and you have to keep up with it and do shit. I guess you can get outside of the box, though. I feel like it would... Ouch! Why are the lasers so loud? Yeah, I feel like you can jump over the lasers, though. It might be hard to keep in front of it, but... Yeah, I remember playing this level in particular quite a lot because I struggled with it. And I used to speedrun this world specifically and just not upload my IL time. Youch! I just didn't upload my IL times because of that, what's it called when you're, like, against someone? A grudge. I kept that grudge for so long about them not accepting my full game run that I just got... I just did ILs without submitting them, which is fine. I'm sure no one was bothered by my shitty ILs not being... Oh my goodness, you can rocket jump off the ceiling in this game? Wait, this game's awesome. I guess rocket jumping in this game just never sends you down. I don't know if that's how it works, but that's what it looked like. Any vertical velocity is turned positive, I guess. Okay, this is tricky like I remember it being. Maybe I'm not going to submit this because I might not be able to beat the last world, because I do remember it genuinely being pretty difficult. Like, this isn't a hard game by any means, but... Oh, I'm ahead of the thing! I beat the level! I cracked it! Lily Skip invented. No one else has found this. Let me in! Yes! Yes! Alright, Cosmic Highway, here we come. I also hate the level... Well, not level design. I hate the, like, visual design of this game. It's extremely noisy, extremely flashy. None of it actually, like, means anything. And it's just colors and texture, and... It's pretty tough to look at. Can I kill these things? No, they're just gonna try and kill me. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, I guess the gimmick for this level is those moving things. I don't really know. This kind of reminds me of Cluster Truck, though. We're on some trucks here. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Maybe I can play Cluster Truck next. That would be a good game to get on the list. The only trouble is, though, if I do beat this in this video, and it's not like 2 hours long, and then they accept it, it's just gonna be like, oh, I've met whatever their like threshold is for a run that's fast enough, right? Like, it doesn't mean they've actually changed and grown from their experience of denying me my rightful spot on the board. This is the stupidest. This is the stupidest grudge I've ever held, by the way. But it's real. It's true. I'm really bad at rocket jumping, is what I'm learning from this video. I'm trying to do flicks and stuff, and you know, I used to rocket jump a lot. It used to be, I mean, if I were to boot up TF2 right now, you'd see my soldier is like 80% of my playtime, and then Demoman, you know, because I just went on jump servers all the time. That was like the main thing I did playing TF2 as a kid. I did play on like actual like game modes as well, but it was mostly the jump servers. A lot of the time it was jump servers. I also played on crit servers, which were pretty fun. Checkpoint Orange. Love that map. In fact, have I told this story on this channel? I know I've told the story before on like Twitch and stuff. I don't know. My username comes from a certain crit server on TF2, but I think we'll save that. If I haven't told it already, which there's every chance that I have. If I haven't told it already, we'll save it for the TF2 video. But yeah. If you know, you know, I guess, is the situation there. I just don't... It's really weird, like, having internet friends, because, you know, I used to play Minecraft as a kid, and TF2 as a kid, and I met a lot of people playing those games, a lot of people that I was pretty close with, like, at the time. Like, as a 14-year-old on the internet, about as close as you can get to your fucking TF2 friends on Steam, which is read not very, but like, I had friends, and I don't know any of them anymore. I do not speak to any of them. I have some of them on Steam still. In fact, I have a lot of people from when I was playing Rivals when it came out, or not when it came out, but like the early access launch. Met a lot of people from Rivals, and yeah, I guess it's just like I've moved on from that part in my life. I've moved on from those people, and you know, I look back on it fondly, but it's just weird because like the friends I have now, even the ones on the internet, the friends I have now, I'll have to do that faster. Taking a quick break to drink some fluids, and then we're back in this level, trying to do it as fast as possible. Yeah, I couldn't imagine just one day, oh, we don't talk to each other anymore, right? But that makes sense because we're more connected now than ever. You know, I used to have all these friends on Steam, and we used to be in the same Minecraft servers and stuff, but I didn't have the like central place where I talk to everybody, right? So Discord is the central place where I talk to everyone I know IRL, everybody I know, not everybody I know IRL, like family. I don't have my family on Discord. But like, you know, largely I speak to all of my friends through Discord, and I speak to all of my, you know, online only friends on Discord as well. And now that they're all in one place and they can just like message me whenever, and I can just message them whenever, I do think it will be harder for me to just randomly like never talk to someone again. Because that's the thing, like even like you think, oh well, you know, if you have your friends on Steam, that is like the central place for your like online only friends. But I actually don't fully see that because, like, I don't use Steam messaging that much. I basically only use Steam messaging to message people I was in-game with or trying to get in-game with. So it's not nearly as, like, it's not a message. Like, I don't open Steam to use it as a messaging app, which is, you know, effectively what Discord is. So I don't know. Those people and those, like, I think that, I don't know, maybe it's the whole thing of, like, you know, people say university or college or, you know, whatever, that's where you make friends for life. And I don't know how true that is. I certainly don't want it to be true, and that's not an insult to my friends I've made at uni or anything. It's more of a thing where, like, I don't want to stop making friends. Like, that would be like worse if I just, like, never made friends after that point. God, this level is bringing back a memory of failing repeatedly at it. Yeah, like, I don't want to only make friends now and then I don't make as many friends, like, after that point. That sounds like it would suck. But maybe it is the thing where, like, okay, as you get older, you're more likely to, you know, keep those bonds and, you know, keep the friendships. It's not just about it being easier to keep up with friends, although that is certainly true. Now that I have the unified messaging app. But I think, yeah, it probably has a lot to do with me growing up, maturing, and, like, it's just easier to keep friends, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much. Like, the differences between those friendships I had as a young teen and the friendships I have now as a not teen. But it is distinctly different. Like it feels like they will last a lot longer. And I don't think, even as a kid, I don't think I was under the illusion that my friendships would last forever. Because, I mean, in primary school I didn't have a lot of friends, and I didn't really keep the friends that I did have when I moved into high school. And then in high school I went through friends, you know, regularly enough. There were only a couple friends that I kept throughout all of high school, and then I didn't stay friends with them when I got out of high school. So I mean, even as a teenager, I don't think I was under the illusion that those friendships would last forever. But now I feel like I kind of am. Now I feel like I'm in a position where, like, the friends I have now would pretty much like to keep them. I'm happy to keep making new friends as well. I don't... I would be sad if I lost the friends I have now. Whereas, like, I don't want to say, because this would be a really terrible thing to say, right? I don't want to say that I wouldn't, like, at the time, I wasn't sad to lose some of the friends I've had in the past. But actually, it's kind of true. There were a lot of people I was friends with that, like, once we stopped talking, I didn't really affect me. I was glad that I had them as friends at the time, and I'm not sad that they're not my friends anymore. Just a weird kind of thing where, I don't know, you move on and you grow up, and that's fine as well. The cycles, I've talked about this, I'm going to talk about this, and you know, but, like, I hate cycles. I don't hate cycles, I hate when I don't know them. Because I'm just trying to beat this level, and the part that I'm getting caught up on is, like, every time I jump, this thing is at, like, the perfect part in its cycle to fuck me up. So I need to either go faster or slow down, and I'm not particularly good at going fast, but I also am very resistant to slowing down. So it's just a shit combo. I had this problem with Chapter 3 in Celeste. I like Celeste, it's a fantastic game. Casually, Chapter 3 is not that bad. But as someone who's, like, you know, even when I play games casually, I'm not really coming from a casual perspective, because at this point, every game I play, I'm looking for the speedrun aspects in them, at least a lot of the games I play. It's not even because I want to speedrun them, right? I never wanted to speedrun Celeste. I don't think I'm ever going to do that. But for some reason, you know, I still have this irrational need to go a little bit too slow for the fast cycle and a little bit too fast for the slow cycle. I'm just not good at like reading cycles the first time I play, and they frustrate me because, you know, in a static level, it kind of, I don't know, it feels random. It's not random, but in a cycle based platformer, it feels more random that things can just like mess you up. But obviously it's on a cycle. It's just like I messed it up by going at a certain speed. But I'd kind of just like to go at whatever speed I want. Like that's kind of my preference. That probably has a lot to do with why the first time I played this game it took me 2 hours to beat it. Because this isn't a long game. And I think most people would probably beat it in under 2 hours. And it has everything to do with the cycles. But cycles are fine. It's you know, if I were to play like Tori 3D, I can do those cycles, so they're fine. And they have a decently wide window. People always complain about the S ranks in that game, but the cycles are fine. Is this the last level? It kind of looks like it. It looks like a level that I spent a lot of time on, which makes me think it might be the last one, but I don't know. I don't know, we've been in this cosmic highway for a while though. Can I jump off of this? Okay, I can. It's red, so it kind of looked like I can't, but I can jump off of this red, vaguely phallic shape, which is good. We can do some rocket pogo. That was something that took me entirely too long to learn in TF2. Doing the rocket pogo jumps, those are a lot harder than just like a couple jumps, a couple rocket jumps off a wall or something. Like pogoing is really cool and pretty tricky. And it's not even, that's the thing with rocket jump servers. I did not even like, I wasn't at the... Oh, I can stand on those. I thought I had to pogo off of them like they're red, they're gonna kill me. But actually, I can just stand on them. That's bad game design. It's bad visual design if the red thing that, you know, indicates usually that it's gonna kill me actually doesn't kill me. But whatever. Now that I know that, the level is a lot easier. Yeah, I swear this is the last level. Jeez, oh. I gotta lock in. Gotta lock in for this last level. If I beat this level and it tells me it's not fast enough, I'm gonna... You know what? That's actually kind of funny. You know, coming from the perspective that the speedrun moderators annoyed me by saying my run wasn't fast enough, and then the game is saying you can't advance in the game until you get a faster time on these ILs is kind of funny. It's kind of poetic. It's still stupid though, but like, kind of funny. Yeah, I wonder what top level runs of this game actually look like, because I'm sure I looked at the time, but I do not remember. I'm sure there's all sorts of tech with the like sliding stuff that I'm not using, and I don't know, it sounds like it could be a pretty cool game to speedrun. Right. We're making the jump, and we're running along the red thing even though it looks like it should kill me. Like, every other red thing in this game has killed me. I don't know why right in the last level they introduce a red thing that doesn't kill you and that you actually need to land on. I mean, you don't need to land on it, but like, it's beneficial for you to land on it. Okay, we're just gonna go around this wall so that I don't need to... Okay, we're right at the end. We're right at the end. No, 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 no. I needed to get the... I do need to get 70 seconds. Okay, 70 seconds is the time to beat. Let's just pay attention to that as we're going through it. This is the other thing. I keep overshooting slightly and having to slow down to course correct. I don't like that feeling. The feeling of overshooting being easier than just hitting the target. I mean, I would rather undershoot, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Undershooting doesn't feel as bad as overshooting. Because with overshooting, it's like, oh, you need to do a worse jump, basically. Like, you need to do a smaller jump or a jump that doesn't go as far. With undershooting, it's like, oh, you didn't launch yourself far enough. Like, your mistake is that you're not as good as rocket jumping. Not as good at rocket jumping. But then if you're overshooting, it's like, no, you're too good at it. Which is a flawed perspective, because it assumes that, you know, doing a further rocket jump is doing a better rocket jump, which obviously we know that's not true, but whatever. Okay, we got 17... No! Why am I getting sniped by... What? Can you see why this took me forever when I first played it? Also, what is this rocket? Like, why does it look like this? Why does it have a speedometer? I mean, I get from a gameplay perspective why it has a speedometer, but like, why does it look like this? I guess I've got to appreciate just how ridiculous this game looks. It is kind of it's kind of funny. If a little hard on the eyes sometimes. I wish I could make that in a single bound. Like, there's no crouch button. I think not having a crouch button makes rocket jumping not as fun either, because you're supposed to crouch jump to rocket jump. It's like part of the thing, and then you're taking away my ability to crouch. Although in many ways, it boils rocket jumping down to its like barest essential of shoot yourself to go upwards. It also overcomplicates it by adding wall running, which doesn't feel very good because you just get stuck to the wall whenever you go near it. And it also adds this slide mechanic that I don't really understand the point of. The game's just confused in its messaging. Why are we even here? Why are we in the Cosmic Highway? I don't know. These big tower things kind of look Star Wars-esque. I'm thinking... Oh, I'm like not... I can't remember what I'm thinking. Which is a shame, because I'm gonna look like a fake Star Wars fan if I can't tell you particularly what image they're evoking. The fucking water planet. I don't remember what it's called. But they look like the buildings on the water planet. Whatever the water planet from Attack of the Clones. Is that what it's called? Is it Attack of the Clones? Is it in Attack of the Clones? I am Oh my god! It just shoots you, like straight up. You can't do anything about it. I've been at this for 40 minutes now. Not this level, by the way. Unless, like, I haven't been playing this level for 40 minutes. Just the game in general. If this takes me another hour and 20 minutes, I'll be a little depressed. Why is this? You know, usually the long videos on Gold are like games that I really like. I'm playing Neon Boost, a game that nobody has heard of, that I don't even like very much, that I've been complaining about pretty much the whole time. And we're 40 minutes in. This is a decently long video. Yeah, this is an interesting situation I've found myself in. It's like the thing is, you would think like, oh, I mean, if you're failing this much, just take it slow through the level. You can't even do that because if you go slow, the game tells you, nah, you didn't go fast enough. Why is the game like I should just get to the end of the level and it lets me go? Why is it forcing me to hit a certain threshold that they deem acceptable? That's not very accessible game design, right? What if I'm shit at this game and I just want it to be over? Which is true. I am shit at this game and I want it to be over, and I can't even make that jump. I could see this game maybe being fun if I was better at it. It's one of those games that, like, the game mechanics feel off to me slightly, but if I was more familiar with them, I think I'd be making these jumps, right? And I'd be having more fun if I was making the jumps rather than not making the jumps. I mean, that sounds obvious on paper, but, like, maybe it is obvious. I guess the point is, they forgot to put fun in the game. They just put a bunch of game mechanics. Oh no, they really just put one game mechanic. One game mechanic. Okay, wait, we're onto something here. We're like halfway through the level. We just gotta. No way! I'm done with this game. It's not even fun.